Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and yeah, we're finally talking about Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, this review is going to hit you very, very late. Life's been crazy, I've been busy, and if I'm being completely honest with you, my first viewing of this movie, I didn't even know what to say about the film, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I couldn't decide how to say how I felt about the movie. So I ended up just waiting to see it a second time, and then I saw it a second time in IMAX, and my thoughts stayed the same, and I was able to put together some notes of what I was thinking. And even though this is super duper late, I have not missed a review for an MCU multiverse movie yet, that I'm pretty sure, and I didn't want to miss yet, so I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, let's just dive into it. This will be spoiler free, even though there's a very good chance you've either already seen it or already decided you're not going to see it till streaming. But we're still going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you if you should see it in theaters or not, just because I do that every review, even if this is super late and you've already made your decision by now. Anyway, let's talk about it. Let me see if I could try my best to put into words how I felt about this movie. This movie is good. Fine. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching this video. No, I'm just kidding. So I thought this movie was okay. It was fine. It was good. It was like I don't know. It was not bad. Like, I would not say that this is a bad movie at all. I just would not call this movie great. It was good. I don't even want to call it mid. Maybe mid actually would be the right word to use for this movie, but I don't even want to call it mid. But yeah, let me just try to dive into some of my notes here to see if I can explain my feelings a bit better. Alright, first let's get started with, I actually really like the characters and the cast playing these characters. And that's one of the best parts of the movie to me. I love the character Sam Wilson. He's fun. Anthony Mackie does a great job portraying the character. The new character Joaquin Torres, aka the new Falcon. I'm not gonna lie to you, I forget the name of the guy who portrays him. I loved him as well. I thought he was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed his character. I really enjoyed every time he was on screen. Isaiah Bradley, the forgotten Captain America, was great in this film. Again, the actor did such an amazing job portraying him. He was great every time he was on screen. Personally, I even liked the one character, Ruth. I won't lie. I would have forgotten her name if I didn't have it written down in my notes, though. The ex-Black Widow. I enjoyed her character. I've heard a lot of people be like they don't really like her character. And I've heard a lot of people be like, well, she didn't need to be in the movie. That's true. She didn't really need to be in the movie. But I actually did like her character. And I liked her interactions with the rest of the characters. That goes into, I love their interactions. Some of the best parts of this movie is Sam Wilson, Joaquin Torres, and Isaiah Bradley. The three of them just interacting, talking, having a good time. That's like one of the best parts about this film to me. It was that part I thought was great. Speaking of characters, Thunderbolt Ross, I really liked his character arc in this movie. I don't want to dive too much into it because I said this wouldn't be spoilers, but I really like how they did his character arc. And I want to point this out. Harrison Ford is now here. He recasting, I believe his name was William Hurt, who sadly passed away, who originally played Thunderbolt Ross in the original MCU films. They recast him with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford does a great job as a character, but I won't lie to you, I have a hard time viewing it as the same character as William Hurt's Thunderbolt Ross. I don't really know if it's because of Harrison Ford specifically, or if it's just because of the writing. It's probably both, to be honest. Because he does act different, but that also plays into his character arc. He's trying to be different, and that's part of the reason why I like his character arc so much. I like that he's trying to become a better person than he was. But I just wanted to bring that up. And they also, another thing that they dive into that I really like is if Sam should have taken the super soldier serum. They dive into that in a way that I personally really like. I really like how they did that. I like that Sam doesn't have the super soldier serum personally, just because it helps make him different from Steve. And I like the idea of having a Captain America, this soldier who doesn't have a serum to enhance his strength. I think that's cool, but I like how they dive into, well, should he take it, should he not take it? We've seen that even people who appear to be good take the serum, and it amplifies everything, including the worst parts of them, making them not as good. That we saw happen with John Walker, where he wasn't too bad of a guy, but he took the super soldier serum and it amplified his anger and it made him dangerous. So I really like that they did dive into that. Now the main villain of the film, this isn't really a spoiler, I'm gonna say it, the leader. I had mixed feelings about him. First of all, I believe his name is Tim Blake Nelson, did a great job, I think, portraying the character. I thought he was really enjoyable as the character, and I think there was some potential here, but I don't think they fully delivered on the potential of the character. He's supposed to be a super smart character, but I never got the feeling that he was like always 10 steps ahead of our heroes.
Now I've done it.
He barely felt like he was one step ahead of our heroes, to be honest with you. And so that's my biggest problem, I think, with the leader, mainly. Continuing on, another thing I did like is that they dived into how Sam is still trying to be a new Cap, and Joaquin is trying to be the new Falcon. That's another thing that I do wish they would have dived into a bit more than they did. But when they did go into it, I really enjoyed it. Seeing Sam feel like he's not worthy of the shield still, even after the events of Falcon Winter Soldier. But learning that he is fit for the shield. But also paralleling that is Joaquin Torres, who's trying to become the new Falcon, who feels like he's not as good as Sam was as Falcon. And that's something that I really like, the paralleling, how they're both trying to become a man, how like Sam is trying to become the new Captain America, while also trying to mentor this guy trying to become the new Falcon, which is who he was. I wish they would have dived into it more than they did. Just I think that could have been really interesting, and that could have been and even maybe emotional, but they only touched upon it slightly. I wish they would have done it more than they did. But hey, that you know. I really liked the third act that they had. I thought it was really fun. And so this I'm going to say is kind of like in the middle. The action in this movie, I think, is kind of mixed. There are some action scenes that I think are really good. There's a fight scene between Sam and Giancarlo Esposito. I hope I said his name right. That fight was cool. There's a fight we see in the trailers with Sam and Joaquin fighting near the Celestial. That was cool. The third act, like I said, was cool. But outside of those, the action wasn't as good as it could have been. Now, there were some really cool things that happened with some cool shield moments that happened, but not a whole lot of it. And I think a big reason why the movie isn't like great is because it's not what a lot of people wanted, including myself, and that was it to be more like Captain America Winter Soldier, a more grounded, a darker political spy espionage thriller. It didn't really feel like that to me, personally, at least, and I'm pretty sure most people agree. It didn't feel like that, which is what I wanted, and that's what the trailers made it look like it was going to be, and that's not what it was. So to me, I think that's one of the biggest reasons is it's more disappointing than anything, because of the fact that I wanted Winter Soldier style, darker, grounded, political, spy, espionage thriller, and we kind of got generic Marvel movie. It's kind of what we got from it, if that makes sense. So I think that might be the biggest reason why this movie isn't just like, yeah, it's great. But there were other problems with it too. Like, one that I feel like a lot of people point out, because it's true, is this feels like a sequel to The Incredible Hulk that is 17 years later and doesn't even have the Hulk in it. Because there's a lot of plot threads from The Incredible Hulk, which came out in 2008, that are finally being addressed and finished here. And it's just like, why exactly are we doing this? Not only is it 17 years later, at least that's what I'm pretty sure I calculated correctly, but Hulk isn't even in this movie. But Yeah, like, to me that just seems weird. Either we should have done this way sooner, or at the very least, we should be doing this in a Hulk movie. So that's just kind of weird. And also, there's a mystery in this film that, to me, is just, like, way too obvious and way too predictable. Like, I felt like... I almost felt like I knew the answers right away, which I did not like. I did not want to know the answers until closer to the end, or at least when our characters find out, or when they're supposed to find when we're supposed to find out. Like, it felt like they were teasing like this. Oh, there's this mystery. Who's this guy pulling the strings? Who's this guy trying to kill the president? And the answer is super obvious, but partially because, well, they announced who the main villain was right off the bat. Or was it an announcement? Maybe it was a leak, but I'm pretty sure it was announced. Maybe I'm wrong, though, because that does feel like it was a long time ago. But, so, to me, that was another problem I had. So, but even after everything I've discussed, I don't feel like I've truly touched upon the reason why this movie didn't work with me the way I was hoping. Like, I'm not sure if I'll be rewatching this movie a third time anytime soon. But I would not say it's a bad movie at all. So, yeah, so, first off, should you see this in the theater? This is hard. I'm gonna say, if you are a hardcore Marvel fan, like myself, then yes, see this in the theater. But if you are more of a casual Marvel fan, wait for streaming. That's what I personally think for this film. Although, because this review is coming out very, very late, you probably have either already seen the film or you've already decided you're waiting until streaming. But just in case, if you're still deciding at the time this is coming out, that's my suggestion. Hardcore fan, theaters. Casual fan, wait for streaming. But yeah, a few things that I want to touch upon. Some spoilers real quick. So, spoiler alert. If you don't want this movie spoiled for you, even though you probably already have at this point, click away, come back after you've seen it. And yeah, we're not going to talk too much, but just, they're not very heavy spoilers, I don't think either, but still. I'll give you a few more seconds to click away. Now let's dive into some spoilers. Okay, so I probably could have discussed this in the spoiler-free version, but just in case, mind control being a big part of the film, with like Isaiah Bradley and stuff. To me, it's kind of funny, kind of weird that they like Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross especially, act like they never even heard of mind control before. But we've had Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes was brainwashed, mind controlled. Heck, we even had Loki in the first Avengers movie mind control people. So I don't know why mind control is like this, like, what? Impossible! When it's happened multiple times before in this world. And then another small thing. This again probably isn't a spoiler. The Red Hulk, I wish, was in more of the movie than he ended up being. And I think part of it is I think they over-marketed him. I don't blame them for marketing him, like showing him a little bit in the trailers or posters, but I think they showed way too much in the trailers of him. Like, I think they should have just very slightly teased him. Like, maybe not even show us a full shot of him and make us wait till the movie, but that, you know. Bucky Barnes has a cameo, which was awesome. It was great to see him. He has a great moment with Sam that's both touching while also being very funny at the end. With him encouraging him, being like, yeah, Steve made the right choice. He didn't pick you because you're strong. He picked you because you have a good heart. And saying how he doesn't need the serum. And then that leading to the comedic bit where it's like, your speechwriters have to do with that. He was like, a little bit. Which I thought was funny. It's kind of funny. This is like the one scene that actually got my audience in the theater to react. Because when I saw the opening night, it actually was pretty full, which is kind of surprising because it feels like they haven't been full outside Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh man, now I've done it.
But the movie didn't get any reactions until this scene. That's when people were like, "Oh, that's Bucky," and then that joke got a laugh out of people. So did the following joke that I personally liked with Ruth walking in and making comments about Bucky, and Sam being like, I forget the exact age, he's like over 100 years old, and Ruth is like, I can work with that. That also got a chuckle out of the audience, and it made me laugh as well. I really liked that whole scene. But that was like the only thing that made the audience react in the first viewing, and in the second viewing, the audience didn't react at all. I don't think in the IMAX theater, and there was also less people in that theater too, so that could have helped. And then let's talk about the end credit scene real quick. I feel like we have to talk about this because a lot of people are saying that this is a terrible end credit scene, and while I wouldn't say it's terrible, I wouldn't say it's good. Like the end credit scene feels very skippable. Because pretty much, literally all the end credit scene is Sam goes back to the raft for some reason. We don't know why he's going back to the raft, but he's back at the raft to talk to the leader, pretty much bragging like, "Hey, I guess you were wrong," and the leader being like, "Oh no, I've seen the outcomes. Pretty much telling us stuff that we already know. There are other worlds out there. Yeah, the multiverse. We've seen this before. Spider-Man: No Way Home." Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, Deadpool and Wolverine, just to name a few. And what are you gonna do when you have to fight the others to keep this world alive? Yeah, we know. They announced at Comic-Con that Avengers Secret Wars was coming. We know that that's happening. And then that's pretty much the end credit scenes. Just like, well, on the one hand, at least they're not teasing something that's like probably not going to happen in like 10 years. Like, that's the thing with the Marvels. At the very end of the Marvels, they had Kamala Khan talk to Kate Bishop being like, yo, I want to get a team together. And to me, as someone who, one, loves Kamala Khan and loves Kate Bishop, but I also love the Young Avengers. It's one of my favorite storylines, one of my favorite teams. I've been wanting to see Young Avengers ever since the multiverse saga started, back with WandaVision. And that scene made me super excited because I thought it was super awesome. I was just like, oh yes, give it to me. The problem is, who knows when that end credit scene, that I guess technically not an end credit scene, didn't happen after the credits. It was part of the main movie, but it was before credits rolled. But it was a lot like an end credit scene. But one, we have no idea when this is going to come. This is actually going to lead up to something. Probably not for like another 10 years, if it even happens at all. We might never get a payoff to that scene. So on the bright side, at least we know this scene will be paid off. This is clearly setting up Avengers Secret Wars, which we know is happening in 2027, I believe. I believe it's 2027, maybe 2028. I'm pretty sure 2027 though. So at least we know this end credit scene will actually be paid off, kinda. But it's also like so generic and basic. Like, hey, you know this movie coming? It's gonna happen. Well, yeah, we know. It'd be one thing if, like, say they didn't announce Avengers Secret Wars. Like, say they said, yo, we're having an Avengers movie come out in 2027, and they tell us nothing else. We don't know the title or any plots, because, I mean, technically we don't know the plot of Secret Wars, but because we know the title, Secret Wars, we know what the general story will be. So if they just told us, yo, we're getting Avengers Doomsday 2026, and we're getting Avengers 6, which we're untitling, kind of like they did Endgame, 2027, then this is going to be a bit more like, oh, what, he's talking about fighting other universes. Are we going to get Secret Wars? That might be a bit more exciting. Or if they did an end credit scene like this back before they did Multiverse, then it'd be super exciting, because then we'd be like, wait, are they actually going to try doing Multiverse in the movies? Because, at least for me personally, I remember a time, like during the Infinity Saga, I thought, no way we're doing Multiverse in movies. Like, that'd be so insane. It'd open up so many possibilities. No way we're ever going to touch that in movies. But now we're at a point in time where people are getting tired of the multiverse, because we've had Multiverse Madness, we've had No Way Home, we've had Deadpool and Wolverine, heck, we've had Incident Across the Spider-Verse, we've had The Flash, we've had Everywhere Everything All at Once. we're at the point where people are getting just tired of the multiverse. Even video games have been doing it with like Marvel Rivals, other people like that, multiverses, which is dying. But like you do it back then, people go nuts. Oh shoot, we're doing multiverse in movies. You do it now, yeah, multiverse. We get like a multiverse movie every year now. How's that a big deal? So I think that's also something. Or it could have been, or maybe it would have been better if he outright mentioned Doom by name, maybe. But other than that, the only thing they could have done is actually like shows the character. But then it wouldn't make sense for the movie. Like if say he shows us a video of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom or something, or say somehow the leader has the vision and we see the vision and it's Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, then maybe, but that wouldn't even make much sense for the movie. So, see, because like if say Fantastic Four, a lot of people, including myself, think we might get Robert Downey Jr. as Doom as a cameo in the end credit scene. I think that's very possible. That will get a huge reaction because we have not seen that character in the movies yet. But just the way of the scene, I hope I explained that right. But like the scene itself, not very exciting. You're just telling us something we already know. If it was done at a different time, it might be a bit better. If we didn't know what the future holds with the Avengers films, it might be a bit better. But with what we know, with where we're at, it just doesn't hit as hard as it probably could have. Anyway, I feel like I talked way too long about that end credit scene. And so, but yeah, that's my thoughts about the movie. By the way, it's just solid. Like if you were to tell me, if you were to walk to me and was like, Captain America: Brave New World, thumbs up or thumbs down, no in between, thumbs up, thumbs down, I would probably go thumbs up, but barely. So, yeah. But I'm still super excited for Thunderbolts. I cannot wait for that movie. And I'm also looking forward to Fantastic Four, but for some reason I'm more excited for Thunderbolts. But yeah, thank you guys for so much taking the time to watch this video, especially because it is way super duper late. If you like this video, please hit like. Let me know your thoughts about Captain America: Brave New World down in the comments below. Please check out my other videos. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I've reviewed every single MCU multiverse movie. So you guys can check that out if you're interested. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.